Tonight, the mask of the self-proclaimed Samvidhan-saving ecosystem stands exposed. The same I.N.D.I. Bloc that is celebrating court relief in the National Herald case as a victory of truth in the very same breath last week demanded the impeachment of a judge over the Deepam verdict. So when a court order favors the Gandhis, it becomes Satyamev Jayate. When a judgment goes against their political ideological narrative, the judge himself is targeted, villainized and put on trial. The I.N.D.I. Bloc's politics reeks of hypocrisy. Praise the judiciary when it suits you, question its credibility when it doesn't. This is not a fight for the constitution. This is selective morality. All right, let's go across to our guests. Rohan Gupta, Dr. Anand Ranganathan and Advocate Umar Junaidi continue to be with us. We are also joined by Dr. Pulla Rao, political analyst. Dr. Rao, it's very easy, very convenient. Question the judiciary when the judgment does not go in your favor, and celebrate the judiciary, say Satyamev Jayate, when the judgment is in your favor. It's very simple. It's just politics.
No, I think it's a good sign, you know. I mean, I know my friend Mr. Ranganathan will have something to say, but they're balancing it out. They're showing confidence in the judiciary. There's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong in bringing an impeachment motion against the judge if you don't like his judgment?
The judges, I quote very, very big judicial people across the world, judges should have thicker skin also. They say that. After you give a decision, you take it. If you give a decision which is very high profile, and you know, I use the word triumphalism, which my friend didn't like the other day, but you know, when judgment comes, you go to town, and then you say, you know, the Deepam issue, they made it so big, it was unnecessary. It was not a question of a victory over someone. It may be a good decision for you. So that kind of thing creates a judicial controversy. And they just accepted it with humility and tried to negotiate quietly. You would not have found so many people coming out of the woodwork opposing it. You know, they're now saying that lamp is not here, there. All of this would have been avoided with a little modesty, I think. With a little, I won't use the word humility, with a little bit of political...
I think all these advices, all your advices should be for the opposition today, sir. All your advices should be for the opposition, not for the judiciary. Can you hear yourself? Whatever you're saying applies to the opposition in today's day.
It applies to all. In this specific instance of Deepam, there was no need to go to town as if they have achieved
You went to town. You went to town.
They could have just quietly...
Did you exhaust all your legal rights?
No, legal
Did you exhaust all your legal rights?
Legal rights.
You directly went and thought it's best to get an impeachment motion against this judge because we don't like his judgment. You're sending a wrong message and setting a wrong precedent.
Legacy issues, you have to be careful. And also, now that you raise the honorable judge, who will go to the site? What kind of thing is this? As if he doesn't have a video camera. These kind of dramatic things will invite dramatic rebuttals unnecessarily. You should preserve the judge's prestige himself. Why should you go to the site?
One second, Dr. Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, no, one second. You cannot look at this in isolation, Dr. Ranganathan, because don't forget, when the CJI spoke about illegal immigrants in the country and said, do we need to roll out red carpet for them? Do we need to give them legal rights? TMC leader said the CJI should refrain from such statements because all of this is being said for TRPs. That is the extent to which the opposition today is going to criticize the judiciary and throw them under the bus.
Very briefly, 2 points. First of all, I'm very disappointed with my good friend, Mr. Pulla Rao. Normally, he's very rational and erudite. I don't know what happened today. Because it was not the judge, Justice Swaminathan, who blew up the entire thing. It was the protagonists of the other side, the DMK, who were in contempt of his very open-minded, non-bigoted, non-communal, rational, logical judgment that was based on 2 premises. One, that the temple reserves the right to light the Deepam if it is more than 15 meters away, as Dargah was also stipulated. 2, the NOC was obtained from the Dargah by the Hindus that you can light a lamp. 3, the judge and everyone gave the opinion that please, you have 10 people or the person light the lamp quietly. It is after the DMK government was in contempt and refused the lamp to be lit not once but twice when the judgment went to another bench and that was also ratified. Then third time they went to Supreme Court. So who's blowing it up? Mr. Rao, please don't do this. Number two, as far as Congress is concerned, Swati, the Congress has its habit starting from 1947 to be the judge, the jury and the executioner. Tell me the amount of times that the Congress has not just overturned the High Court judgments or approaches, it has overturned Supreme Court judgment. Need I talk about the privy purses? Need I talk about the bank nationalization? And need I talk about the Shah Bano judgment? It was not that Congress did not like the Shah Bano judgment. It was because it wanted to appease the Muslims that it overturned the Shah Bano judgment. Just imagine, because millions of Hindus were offended by the Sabrimala judgment, which was patently wrong in my opinion, because it was not discrimination, it was perceived discrimination.
Okay.
Did they ask Modi to impeach the judge? Did they ask Modi to overturn the judgment? No. So everyone is a fascist until the real fascist, the Congress, arrives.
Okay. Mr. Junaidi, if this is not hypocrisy, what is? If this is not, being selective and politics of convenience, then what is? Electoral bonds illegal, the Supreme Court says. Opposition hails that judgment. Supreme Court says bulldozer action unacceptable. Opposition starts celebrating. A new work fact, the Supreme Court stays some provisions. Once again, the opposition hails the judiciary. But when the Ram Mandir verdict comes in, opposition says Supreme Court not infallible. When the Deepam Rao judgment comes in, opposition says impeach the judge. When the court says to conduct a survey in the Sambal Jama Masjid case, there are some in the opposition who says lower courts to desh mein aag laga denge. तो आपके narrative को suit करता है तो hail the judiciary, नहीं करता है तो judiciary को criticize कीजिए, यहाँ तक कि bring in an impeachment motion.
Several examples wherein the opposition and particularly Congress hailed the judgments of judiciary was given by you, ma'am. Now talking about the impeachment. Impeachment is a legal remedy available in the parliament, and that's why the Congress party knows the constitution, the opposition knows the constitution. That's why the impeachment was in the parliament. It was moved in the parliament. Now talking about why it was not moved just because of one decision. They continuously since 2-3 days the debates are going on, and it is a very common point that the continuous misconduct of the Honorable Justice has made the leaders of opposition, the MPs of opposition, to move the impeachment. And that's very clear point.
No,
it is not about unliking the judgment.
I'm not asking the definition of impeachment motion, and neither am I questioning do you have the legal right to do it or not. I'm simply questioning the intention and the selectivity here and the hypocrisy.
Very clear, Swati ji. The intention is very clear. We believe in judiciary. The opposition believes in judiciary and want judiciary to be clean from the politics.
So you believe in judiciary? You believe in judiciary. That's why you impeach the judge. You believe in judiciary. That's why you say that the CJI should not make statements for TRPs. Rohan Gupta, you believe the judiciary. That's why you say that institutions have been demolished by this government. So when it suits your narrative, again, at the cost of repeating, when it suits your narrative, you hail the judiciary. When it doesn't, तो फिर तो देश में आग लगा ही रहा है कोर्ट. रोहन गुप्ता.
देखिए स्वाति जी, this is the height of appeasement politics by opposition. Imagine the fact that they are now moving impeachment motion for a judge who has passed order to light the Deepak. This is the height of appeasement politics. What level they are stooping to? Definitely, you have right to go for impeachment motion, but what is the base? He has passed the order based on the facts.
Okay.
And still you are just going against him.
And if you do not agree, you still have the right to approach. Yes, exhaust all your legal rights. And if you are going to follow this path, then don't be selective about cases. Then don't think about the narratives that suit you, or don't think about your vote banks. Gentlemen, I have to wrap up. I'm completely out of time. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.